The tools you'll need are an armor's block. If you don't have an armor's block, you could use a roll of tape, an armor's hammer, a 1/16 punch, a 1/8 punch, a 3mm Allen key, and a 5mm Allen key. The first thing we have to do is make sure we're safe. How we do that is make sure that there's no ammo inside the rifle. In order to do that, we're going to have to push forward on this magazine paddle, and then with the magazine, we'll pull that downward. It'll look something like this. We're still not safe. We have to check inside the chamber to make sure there's no ammo in there. How we do that is by taking this charging handle and pulling it all the way to the rear, and then you can check inside the chamber to make sure there's no ammo in there. And I don't see any ammo in mine. So we are now safe. Next, we're going to turn the rifle upside down and remove this screw using our 5mm Allen key. Now that we remove that screw, we'll be able to remove the upper from the lower. Set this part aside. Now, turn the upper upside down again. We'll remove this screw and that screw using our 3mm Allen key. Now, this trigger pack should be able to be removed from the upper just by pulling it upward, just like that. Next, we're going to remove the recoil spring. We'll need to remove this pin right here in order to remove the recoil spring. This piece right here is a little plastic piece that's captured by this pin. So we're going to knock that pin out using our 1/16 punch. Because the pin goes all the way through, you're going to take this side of the pin and place it over one of the holes on our armor's block, just like that. Take your 1/16 punch, place it over the pin. When you place it on the pin, you want to make sure you're as straight as possible. You don't want to be on too much of an angle. Once you have your punch placed over the pin, then you're going to tap it out with your armor's hammer. Here's the pin, set that aside. Now, we're going to take our thumb, place it over this little plastic piece, and we're going to push inward. And that's going to release the pressure on the punch. We can remove the punch. And now what we have to do is, there's a lot of spring tension here, so you don't want to remove your thumb too fast. So as you're removing your thumb, you're going to take these two fingers, you're going to place it over here, and what you're going to do is, you're going to remove the pressure, and then you're going to grab the recoil spring with these two fingers. Set the plastic piece aside, and then there you go. This is your recoil spring and the plunger at the end. Next, we're going to remove the charging handle. You take your 3mm punch, and you're just going to unscrew it. There you go. Sometimes the charging handle can get a little stuck in there. You just move it left to right, and it pops out. Now, turn your upper upside down again, put your finger underneath here, and then you can remove the bolt. All right, so now let's reassemble our TM22. The first thing we do is turn the upper upside down. We're going to reinstall the bolt first. This part of the bolt will be inserted into this area right here. So we're going to turn the bolt upside down like this, drop it in, and we're going to push the bolt forward. Now turn the upper on its side like this. We're going to reinstall the charging handle. Charging handle has two flat spots right here and here. And that's what gets installed into the bolt. Now, if you look at the bolt, the top part has a flat side and the same with the bottom. So that's what we're going to make sure that these match up to those flat spots like this. Okay. Now, we take this screw and we insert it into the charging handle, and we just get it started with our fingers. Then we take our 3mm Allen key and we hand tighten it. Now, since we have the charging handle installed, we can now install our recoil spring. This part of the recoil spring gets inserted first into this area right here. and it goes in just like this. Just like that. The one thing I do is take the punch, and this is the 1/8 punch, and I insert it into the recoil spring like this, and it just helps me push the recoil spring in without the recoil spring bending and stuff like that. So I'm going to push this in, and I'm going to take my thumb and hold that recoil spring. We're going to get this plastic piece, and it should be in this orientation. The flat side will go against the recoil spring, and we're going to push that in just like that. So if you look into that hole right here, that's where we're going to insert the pin. If I released some of the pressure on this plastic piece that I have my finger on, you can see now the hole's obstructed. If I push more, now the hole's not obstructed. We need to have that hole have no obstructions, so this way we can insert the pin with no issues. I'm going to place the upper onto our armor's block. I'm going to switch fingers so I could use my right hand to insert this pin. The pin goes into that hole. We're going to start it just by inserting it, and the pin should look like that. Okay. Now we're going to take our armor's hammer, preferably the soft side, and we're going to tap in this pin. Now the pin's not all the way in. You can see that it still has some of the pin sticking out. What we're going to do is we're going to take our 1/16 punch, and we're going to place it over the pin like that. Now again, making sure when you're on that pin, you don't want to be on any type of extreme angle. Okay, so place the 1/16 punch over the pin, and then we're just going to tap in the pin the rest of the way. There we go. So now the pin is in, and now we can turn the upper upside down, take our trigger pack. The trigger pack will look like it's in this orientation, like that. So this piece right here will get inserted to this channel right here, and the hammer will go into this area right here, and it'll look something like this. Ideally, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this area and this area to be placed over here and here, just like that. Now we take the two small screws, we're going to place those into here and here, just like that. Take our 3mm Allen key, and we're just going to screw those screws in. Okay, now you're just going to hand tighten it. Nothing too tight. You just want to make them nice and snug. There you go. So now, in order to install the upper to the lower, we have to take this part right here of the upper and insert it to this area of the lower. While we're doing that, we also have to get the trigger and the magazine release paddle into these two areas. Right here, this is where the trigger goes, and right here is where the magazine release paddle goes. It's very simple. We're just going to go in on an angle like this. And as you can see, the back drops in first. Our trigger's in the hole. I start to lower the front, and then it automatically slides back. There's our magazine release paddle. And there you go. Now, what we do is we turn the rifle upside down, take our screw, and screw it into this area right here. Take our 5mm Allen key and just turn it until it's hand tight and nice and snug. And there you go. You have successfully reassembled your TM22. Next, I like to perform a function test. And how I do that is by making sure that the rifle is on safe, which this one is, pointing the muzzle in a safe direction, pull the trigger, nothing happens. So that means the safety's working. Take the safety off, make sure the muzzle is pointed in a safe direction, pull the trigger. Next, take the charging handle, pull it to the rear 3 times. Now, take the magazine. This part right here faces the front. This part right here gets inserted to this area right here, like this. Pull the charging handle to the rear one more time, all the way. The bolt locks open. Now, push the magazine release button forward, and remove the magazine. The bolt drops automatically. Everything is performing as it should. Congratulations. You have successfully disassembled and reassembled your Derya TM22 Standard rifle. Also, if you're in the market for CCW insurance, check out Right to Bear. Use coupon code UBR10 to get 10% off your entire order. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful.